Hi, this is Ashley, and I'm here with Richard and Cheryl Lane. You guys want to say hi?
Hi.
Okay. So we're going to talk about them and their journey here at Tuscaloosa. So first, when did you guys start coming to Tuscaloosa, and how did you start coming here? How did you hear about it?
Well, probably back when Corky Arthur brought me to the church, about 30 or 40 years ago. And over in the fellowship hall. And that was about it. And I went places with him and stuff. And I went up to the Promise Keepers up in Jacksonville. They had a big convention up there. And I went up with him there, which was good. Harry went with us. And we had a lot of fun. It was just a long ride up and a long ride back.
So you started coming when we were meeting in the fellowship hall.
Right.
Who was the pastor at the time?
Oh,
Skip.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you just decided to keep coming?
Right.
Okay.
Well, he got involved with the Tuscaloosa Shepherds.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I did that for a long time, too.
We'd go every fourth and fifth Thursday of the month and feed at the coalition.
Yeah. Corky got me started in that, helping him. And then he basically got out of it, and I took charge of it. And spent many years doing that.
He snuck you in.
Right. And then he stepped away, and I stayed in it.
So we still have the Tuscaloosa Shepherds, but then they were doing a food bank, right? Not yet?
It was before the food bank.
Okay, so what's the coalition? Tell me about that.
That's where
it was
the
a women's coalition.
Yeah.
So you volunteered
Family.
there, and you took that over?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, tell me what you did with that.
Well, we prepared meals, and we took them down to there, and we went around to Publix and got desserts and stuff, and
Handed them out?
or handed them out, and we went in the back and served them. And
But then they started the food bank out of the fellowship hall. Were you guys involved in that?
Not the starting of it, but I got involved later on. And then I kind of weaned my way back out of that.
What other groups have you been involved in at Tuscaloosa? I know you guys usher, obviously, but other than that, what else do you do?
Well, I started one at one time, ex-military men to get together periodically. Mm-hmm. And that went on for maybe 3 or 4 months, and then it kind of went away.
Okay.
And the Methodist Men's, Tom Love still keeps me involved in that. Mm-hmm. But I don't attend any of the meetings or anything like that, but I still keep in touch with it. Mm-hmm. And that's as far as that goes. So, but other than that, I can't think of any.
Pumpkin patch, rummage sales.
Right. We helped on those periodically.
Right.
Not as much lately, but as you get older, you kind of wean your way away from it.
And then, Cheryl, you go to the yoga class.
Yes, the yoga's on Mondays. People think it's just for people that can stand and lay down, but I sit in my chair and I do just as many things as they do. And the instructor will tell me what to do and I can usually figure out what they're doing. I can usually tweak it to what I can do. So I've been doing that for well over a year.
And you enjoy that?
I love it.
My parents go to that, and they love it, too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that on Tuesdays, you go to Tijuana Flats every Tuesday.
Right.
Yeah, we take 2 of the church ladies to Tijuana Flats on Tuesdays and have, quote-unquote, a little social gathering.
Mm-hmm. We try to get more people to come, but they don't seem to show up all the time, so...
Yeah.
We try
have
to.
a good time. Yeah.
Heather comes once in a while, but
Methodists love food.
right.
That's what I know. So, social gatherings with food.
And I belong to football, CFOA, which is Football Association here in Orlando, which I did high school football for probably a good 20 years.
You refed.
Right.
Yeah.
I was a ref. I got Tom Love involved in it.
Right.
And then I also got involved in lacrosse. And then I got Tom Love involved in lacrosse.
So you're either getting involved by someone or involving someone
Right.
in something. Okay.
Right. But it.
You're roping people along.
Right. And then I got lacrosse, my legs started going, so I dropped lacrosse.
Okay.
But it was a good one because the assigning officer was a Naval Academy graduate, and we got to be good friends. And Fridays he would call me and say, "Hey, Richard, we got a game down at Lake Howell. We're going there. Ready?" Mm-hmm. I said, "Pick me up." And I had my stuff in the car, and I just hopped in his car and we went. Sometimes it was down to Miami area, and sometimes it was up at north of Daytona.
Jeez.
But it was a
I
good
thought
time.
You just did it here.
Right,
I didn't know you were traveling all that far.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then we did that, and it was a good time being with him because, he was a good ref. He played for the Navy, so. And I met another guy that played for Navy, and John Drehoff was another Navy graduate, and he was probably the best ref or best coach because he coached at Winter Springs and he coached at what was the other school? I think Oviedo. I think he coached there for a while, but he was a very good coach. And I still remember the one time coming with him is I was running down the field, and he wouldn't complain to you. He would just make comments as you're running by, and he said, "Mr. Lane, you missed that call." And I still remember that from that day, and I still trying to remember what call I missed. For the rest of the game, I couldn't fathom what call I missed. But it was a fun time. We enjoyed ourselves. I tried to get the CFOA and the Lacrosse Association to come together and be one association. But lacrosse people said, "No, we don't want to do that. They won't let us do what we want to do. We don't want to take the state test and stuff like that." But now they take the state test. But they said they couldn't see it on the wall. So I said, "Well, okay. That's the way it goes." And football was the same thing. We went everywhere, just wherever the assigning officer sent us, and we went. And that was a good time.
And then tell me a little bit about ushering. I know you're big ushers, That's what you're kind of known for.
Mm.
But I feel like a lot of people don't know what you guys do as ushers, and you do a lot.
Well, ushering, I first got started with it over in the fellowship hall because the head usher then, he made an announcement, said, "I would like to invite anybody to come learn about ushering." I said, "Well, that'd be something for me to look into." So I went down and I said, "I'd like to follow you for a couple of days, a couple of weeks." And he says, "Okay." One Sunday, and he turns around and goes up and make an announcement and says, "I'd like for you to meet your new head usher, Richard Lane." Oh, okay. I didn't know I was going to be head usher. And then from then on, I was the head usher.
Who was that?
Oh, I don't remember his name. It was so long ago, about 40 years ago now.
No, it's only been about 20.
20 years I've been ushering?
Well, since 90s, yeah.
I've only ever known you as head usher.
Yeah, it was in the 90s when he came back from
Texas?
Texas, yeah.
Mm.
And then you got promoted.
Or demoted. But ushering, I feel like, we're the people in the background. We don't usually get involved in a lot of the stuff in front. We just make sure everything in front goes smoothly, hopefully. And get acolytes, make sure their acolytes are doing their thing. And making sure everything goes according to oil. And it seems to work.
Tell me some of the stuff you do. I know you're here for every service. You guys are always here early doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me some of the stuff you do on a typical Sunday.
Well, first I get the offering plates out. Make sure I got 4 of them. And then I get the envelopes out. I got the offering envelope, the attendance envelope, and the sheet with all the count sheet, which you count the congregation, you count the people on the platform, You count the nursery, you count the salty services, you count all that. And then you got to get the name board out. And right now I'm helping with the communion, helping the lady up get the communion stuff set up and making sure everything on the altar is where it should be.
Do you change the colors on the altar?
That's somebody else's
somebody does that?
responsibility. We do, but
Okay.
it's somebody else's
You
responsibility.
divvy that off.
Right.
Okay.
It's the worship committee meeting, I guess.
Oh, the Altar Guild.
Altar guilds, yeah.
If there's candles up there, you put oil in them.
Right. I put oil in them if it needs it. And right now I'm working on cleaning all the Christmas candles, cleaning all the wax off of them and putting them in boxes and gonna stick them back in the back so they can use them here at Christmas time. And the Advent wreath, make sure it is up and running when they got to put oil in those, and get ushers to be in their spots. Right now I got 3 ladies that are fairly dependable. I'd like to get probably about 10 or 15 people at the most, where we could set months up for, you got this month and this month, to set it up where I could just stand in the back with my back problem right now, and just say, go do it. And then I got to make sure all the attendance pads are out, and then they're picked up. There's supposed to be 34 of them, because that's the number of pews that we got. And Heather likes one up with her. I don't know why, but for the choir, but the choir never signs it. So yeah, I think that's about it.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff to do every Sunday.
Yeah.
And you guys usher outside of church. You're actually professional ushers. Tell me about that. How you got involved. You got involved there first, right,
I
Cheryl?
was there first, yes.
At the Amway.
Yes. Back then it was called, I started in 89. Back then it was called.
Oh, so you were ushering there before he was ushering here?
Correct.
And did you start ushering at church the same time as him?
No.
Oh, okay. Later.
No.
He roped you in later?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me about the Amway.
Well, I got started because I needed a job, but I wanted mom hours because I had 2 little ones. And he was working with a man that was already an usher at the arena. It had opened in January, and this was April. And so he gave me all the information, and I've been there ever since April of 89, working concerts, magic, Predators, Solar Bears, anything that went on there, I did. Or the whole family's done it one time or the other. Because he got involved for a little while. Then he started reffing. And then the 2 girls, when they got old enough, they ushered for a while. But I'm still there.
Family tradition.
Yes.
Ushering.
Yes.
You're welcome to come do it.
Okay. I would do it.
Yeah.
If Taylor Swift was performing or something, I'll go do it.
Janet Jackson's, next week.
Okay. I'll go to the concerts more than the sporting events, but you guys both like doing that.
Yeah, we did Camping Worlds also. So.
Okay.
Yeah, it's you get addicted. I'm sorry, I'm addicted to it.
Do you get the best job now that you've been doing
Well,
it?
since I've been there the longest, yes.
You get to pick here?
I don't get to pick. I'm usually stationed at the floor at 106, 107, which is right behind the magic bench.
So you
And
can be right there next to the action.
yeah, oh yeah, more than that.
So you just show people to their seats and then
I love telling people where to go.
bossing them around.
Yep, that's what I do.
And then when did you start doing it?
I don't
You
know.
said.
Well, he was back in the 90s,
He was doing it, and then he stopped for
stopped, and
roughing.
then he
Right.
But
started.
you both do it right now, right?
Yeah,
Right.
he started back about 2000 and I want to say 12.
Okay,
Yeah.
something like that. I don't
You
keep
let her.
track.
You let her tell you.
I don't care
Well-
what days I start.
It was after I fell and broke my leg at the Amway. I do remember that. That it was, I had a patron fall on me and break my leg, and I do know it was after that that you started back again. So
That'll help you keep track.
Yeah.
it's a dangerous job.
Yeah.
She took over my position.
Yeah,
Where?
when he first was working at the Amway,
Oh.
he was behind the magic bench,
Oh, okay.
and then
You took his spot.
I took his spot after he left.
Well,
So now, did you have to get a new one when you came back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He had
Yeah.
to start all over.
It was a new building too.
Oh.
It was at Amway instead of the other building.
Yeah, it was at the new Amway.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a run-in with Urkel at the old building.
Urkel,
Right, you don't remember
like
Urkel?
from TV.
Right.
Yeah. I know
I
who that is.
I
somewhere.
won't get into too much, but he.
You saw him? You met
Right,
him?
right. He didn't like me that much.
Oh.
I wouldn't
have-
let him down, and
You have beef with Urkel.
right,
Oh my gosh.
because he didn't look like he did on TV.
So you thought someone was like lying to you?
Well, I was told don't let anybody down without the right ticket numbers,
And Urkel.
and he had
didn't
an
have?
upstairs ticket, and he said, "I'm coming down." And I said, "Oh, no, you're not."
You were doing your duty as an
Mhm.
usher.
Right.
So now I want to know how you guys met and like a little bit about your relationship.
We met at Orange County Vocational School
Yeah.
after we graduated from high school,
Okay.
and we dated for 4 years and been married for 53 years, 52 years. We've had our ups and downs and ins and outs, you know.
Yeah. You were doing bookkeeping and secretarial
Yeah.
classes, and I was doing drafting.
Who asked who out?
I don't know. We sort of just drifted together.
Oh, you both
I
had a
asked
crush
you to
on
come
each
down
other.
and spend.
He
time
wasn't
at
like pining after you or anything.
I invited her down to spend the weekend at my parents' house down in Haines City, and she said okay, she'd come.
Okay. So then you got married after 4 years,
Hmm.
and then you have 2 kids.
We have 2 daughters. One lives here in Orlando, works for Siemens in visa department, and the other one is married to an Army man stationed at the Pentagon. So they live in D.C.
Do you get to see them often?
No,
Okay.
not as often as we'd like.
But you see the daughter in Orlando
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
all the time.
She lives with us.
Oh, okay. And then, what did you guys do for work? And were you in the military?
No,
Oh, you said that you got an ex-military men group.
well, it was just a fun thing to do.
Okay.
You know, I knew Tom Love was in the military and several other guys, and
He's an Army brat.
Okay.
my dad was in the Army for I forget how many years, and
So you just know about it. a
right,
lot.
he was one of the guys that jumped on D-Day, the 101st, and survived. And my brother was born before D-Day, and I was born after D-Day in Japan, a little town called Sendai, Japan. And I kind of be attached to the military ever since,
Okay.
because my dad spent time in the Pentagon, and I spent time in the Pentagon. My dad, during the summers, he would take me to the Pentagon with him, and he'd walk me to his office, and then he'd say, "Okay, I'll see you later." And I would take off, and I'd wander the Pentagon by myself, you know, in middle school, and just, he told me one aisle don't go down. I went down that aisle several times, and nobody said a word to me.
And now your daughter's up there.
Mm,
Crazy.
yeah, they can't wander through the Pentagon like I did back then.
Yeah.
But it was a fun time. They had a full gym there. It was a man-only gym. And they had weightlifting, handball, racquetball, basketball, steam rooms, and stuff like that, a bowling alley. The women were allowed to the bowling alley, but they couldn't go any farther into the gym because a lot of the men didn't wear much. Okay, to be honest with you. So, but you know, and I would stay there. We would get together and we'd meet down there and spend time there together.
What was your job after school? She asked you what your occupation was.
Draftsman.
Okay.
After school, I went to school over in Tampa. I went to here for a couple of years, and then I got an argument with the instructor, so I left and went
To where?
to Tampa. They had Tampa Technological Institute over there,
Okay.
and I finished my education there, and I got a job at Westinghouse. One of the guys I went scuba diving with.
What is that? What's drafting? What?
You draw the buildings
Okay.
and stuff.
But you guys said you met at vocational
School, right.
So did you do the same thing?
No, I took secretarial classes,
Okay.
like any good female.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Never used them, but I did.
we dated for off and on through that whole time I was in Tampa. And you were over here. I'd drive over to see her, and I would drove over to see her, and I was a member of a 40 Fathom Scuba Pros, which we were the Friday night dive team. We just went out diving on Friday night.
In Tampa?
Well, I started here.
Where do you dive here?
It wasn't anything close here. It was up in Ocala.
Okay. You
It
drove.
was called 40 Fathom Sink.
Okay.
It was also called Mud Hole, and we went to Eagle's Nest and Devil's Eye and Devil's Den and Devil's Ear, and which were caves.
I've heard of Devil's Den.
Mm-hmm.
Like people post pictures there.
Yeah, we actually even went into Weeki Wachee. You were pregnant then, so you couldn't go.
That's where the mermaids are.
Right. Went diving with the mermaids. The show was closed at the time, but we worked with a guy from U.S. Geological Survey. He was taking water samples of different places because Weeki Wachee Springs got a lot of murk in it all of a sudden, and so they were thinking about lawsuit against the people across the street, which was building a subdivision. So he was going in there to get water samples. But we went to everywhere in the spring you wanted to go. And it was nice. It was the guy from U.S. Geological Survey got us into places where a lot of places we couldn't get. And Eagle's Nest was behind Weeki Wachee Springs. There was a sinkhole back there, so it was a nice sinkhole.
And then what did you do for work?
I worked for a while for an insurance company, and then after the kids got bigger, I worked for the American Red Cross in their health and safety department as a manager of per diem instructors.
So were you guys always in Florida, like once you were together?
Yes.
Stayed here?
Yes, except for the 2 years he was in Texas with the Super Collider.
Okay. And then before that, did you grow up in Florida?
I was born and raised right here in Orlando.
But you were born in Japan. And then where did you live?
Oh, gosh. We lived in Little Rock. We lived in Panama. We lived in D.C., Fort Hood. I think we lived in Fort Hood twice. Fort Benning. I think we lived there twice. That's where I got in trouble with the commanding officer at the base because they dared me to go up and pull the fire alarm. And it was the old military barracks, wooden military barracks that we were living in. And the military came, the fire department came, all the fire departments off the base came, and there I was, a little kid, but I didn't know anything.
How old were you then?
Oh, I think I was still in middle school.
Okay. You were a troublemaker in middle school.
Right.
Okay.
And
Still is.
right. And my father got called in front of the commander of the base, and commander chewed on him a little bit and then said, "Congratulations, you got a boy." And they shook hands and went away friends.
So you didn't get in too much trouble.
Right.
Okay. How do you guys connect with God most? Through music, journaling, reading the Bible?
Ushering.
Yeah.
That's where I'm most in relationship with God, is just ushering.
Like serving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Seeing the smile on people's faces.
I don't see people's faces that much. I see the backs of their heads.
And you count them.
Right. I recognize people by the backs of their head.
And then I would say you guys are creatures of habit. I mean, you've been here your whole time. Go to Tijuana Flats every Tuesday. What I'm really dying to know
Okay.
is where do you guys eat on Sundays? Now that Firehouse is closed, you guys ate there every Sunday for as
For
long as I
years.
can remember. Yeah.
Here.
We haven't decided on a place yet.
Yeah.
We've tried every place in the area.
We tried Burger King. We tried McDonald's, Jimmy John's,
Jersey
Mike's.
You don't like Jersey Mike's or Jimmy John's?
They're not near as good as Firehouse.
Okay.
But
Panera's.
yeah, Panera's.
You know.
Where's a good place? Where do you all go?
We go to different places every Sunday.
See?
Yeah. Well, if you find somewhere new,
We'll let
that you go-
everybody know
Yeah,
that
we'll make an
they all
announcement.
can come.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Tijuana Flats on Tuesdays
All right.
That's right. We're always there at
Open
11 o'clock.
invitation.
11:15.
in the the Winter Springs Town Center.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah.
Open invitation.
Open invitation.
All right. We always meet in the back. We get one or two tables back there.
Never Hugh Magoo's? You
No.
never go?
No.
That's a good place. You could go there on Sundays.
Well, that's true. We haven't tried that. We haven't gone that far north.
Okay, thank you for listening. I hope you have a great day. Bye.